Bonehead?
Hey, do you know about the U.S.?
You wish.
Do you know about the government? Can you tell me about the Constitution?
Yeah.
Hey, learn about the USA.
Hello.
This officer's got a funny looking hat on. Interesting. I've never seen an officer with a hat like that. Wonder what that's all about.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Right?
Here's the first and direct order. I want you to go stand over there on the sidewalk.
Am I detained?
I want you to go stand
Am I detained?
I want you to go
Have I
stand
broken
over
a law?
there on the sidewalk.
Who are
You'll
you?
be giving a citation for disobeying
what?
police orders. So go over there.
It has to be a lawful order.
Yes, that is a lawful
Are
order.
you detaining
I'm
me?
asking you to go
Am I
stand over
detained
there.
or not?
Go stand over there.
Am I
You
detained
will
or
be
not?
detained if you don't go over
Am I free to go?
there. Go.
Am I free to go? Then I'm free to stay.
Sir.
You're not
Walk
making
away.
any
Right
sense,
now, we're
Herrera.
doing an investigation,
Do
okay?
it. I'm not interfering. I'm having a
Then ID, if you
conversation.
don't wanna go.
I don't have to ID.
Yes, you do, because you're right here talking, and I asked you to go to the sidewalk and stand
It's
over
not a
there.
lawful order.
I just told you a lawful order.
There's no
That's the last
law
time
that I'm
telling you.
breaking.
That's the last time I'm telling you. Go stand over
I'm
there
not breaking
for
a
an
law.
ID so I can give you that citation.
I don't need the ID. I haven't broken a law.
On the sidewalk.
Oh, you're...
Thank you.
What's your badge number? And what's your fucking problem? Huh? Have you ever seen a fucking protest? Have you ever seen one of those? For what? I can't protest? You said to stand on the sidewalk, and I'm on the sidewalk. And now you don't want to protest? Speech alone is not interfering. For what? Am I free to go?
Sir,
Am I detained?
I'm not gonna
Am I detained for a crime?
Okay? You need to step aside.
I've stepped where you told me to step.
Yes, stop yelling.
I can yell.
You're disturbing the peace, okay?
Bullshit. There's no complaint, and you can't be the complainant. You need to read a law book. You need... Who's your complainant? Who is the complainant? Who is the complaint? Oh, I want your supervisor. I want your supervisor. I don't have to walk. You told me where to stand, and I'm here now. You've deprived me of my rights. I'm not interfering. He has already admitted that I'm not interfering a dozen times. A dozen times, and then you walk up out of nowhere and tell me I'm interfering? I don't have to maintain my silence. You've lost your mind. I want your supervisor. Who is this freaking retard? No, I want your supervisor. Flores, how are you tonight? I was doing really good until she came along, and I don't care what you're asking.
So, the thing is, the officer over there is trying to do an investigation.
Good for him.
But it's distracting.
Good, tough shit. If he needs Ritalin, if he needs some psychological, that's just too bad. That's not my problem. I'm not interfering by speech alone. I was having a nice conversation with this officer. Hey, don't try and get snippy, okay? It's not my job to give a crap about what you're doing, okay? Don't try and tell me he's drunk. He hasn't been convicted. He hasn't been convicted of anything. As far as I'm concerned, he's innocent, and all of you are guilty of depriving him of my rights, okay?
Depriving him of your rights?
Depriving him of his rights, and she's definitely deprived me of my rights, threatening me with arrest for free speech. Well, this dumbass right here thinks that I can't say what I want, thinks that I'm being disorderly without a complainant, that she can be a complainant, that I can't say whatever I want to her. She obviously hasn't read Cohen versus California. She obviously hasn't read Houston versus Hill. Yeah, Supreme Court, okay? Supreme Court. Just because I said the California word. Well, it has to be a lawful order, and I'm not breaking any laws, okay? I was having a nice conversation with Thompson, and he admitted several times that I wasn't interfering, and then this freaking retarded piggy lip bitch comes up and tells me that I'm interfering and I have to stand over here on the sidewalk, okay? You messed with the First Amendment. All of you are in trouble with the First Amendment right now. That's an unlawful order. You didn't ask me, you ordered me. You ordered me unlawfully, and I don't have to be quiet either. 3815 of the Texas Penal Code, Section D says speech alone can never be interfering. But you obviously haven't read a single law because you spend all your time at the gun range, don't you? Just giving orders because that's all you know how to do is freaking give orders. For what crime? You've asked me for a lot of things. You asked me to stand here and I did it.
We're not going to argue with you all night.
Then don't. Go away.
Provide your ID.
For what crime?
For standing here.
For standing here. She's admitted I can be here. He's admitted I can be here. What is your problem? What is your problem? What is your problem? Can you get rid of her? She's the freaking problem because I haven't had a problem with anybody except for her. She's got a really bad attitude. What law am I breaking by standing here? Huh? Is this whole freaking parking lot closed just because you want to do a drunk driving test? Look at how much freaking space you guys are taking up. This is freaking insane. This is insane. Get your yellow tape out and close it off if you want all this freaking space. This doesn't warrant all this space. It just doesn't. What you're doing is not, my voice is, it doesn't matter. My voice is free speech. What part of free speech? I know that Chief McManus got on TV and held a little parade about canceling the First Amendment, but that's over because I'm not bowing to his nonsense, okay? The First Amendment is in force all across the United States. And just because Chief McManus thinks he's bad because he convicted Mexican Padilla, a 2-year-old could convict Mexican Padilla, okay? I've read the freaking Constitution. You know, I happen to know a thing or two, right? And I'm not breaking any laws. I've gotten to this ripe old age without ever being arrested for disorderly conduct or interfering because I know the law and I don't break it. And I was your best freaking friend until Herrera. All you've asked is a lot of things. First you asked me to stand here and I did, and then you don't like my free speech. I can be argumentative. I'm the one with the First Amendment, not you. What law am I breaking? What law? She doesn't understand a lawful order. She thinks just because she tells me to bark like a dog that I have to do it. I don't have to do it, okay? I don't have to cluck like a chicken just because she says so. There has to be a law that I'm breaking.
We were having a conversation.
Yeah, we were. We were, and she came up out of nowhere, didn't she? Didn't she just come up out of nowhere? Go ahead. You're taking the brunt of this because of your idiot partners, okay, that you back up, right? Unconditionally, see? That's the problem, is if you threw these guys to the bus instead of having some paid union thugs that defend you guys all unconditionally, right? If there wasn't this blue line, this gang mentality, then I would treat you how you treat me, and I would treat her how she treats me. But instead, you're all on the same gang, right? And that's not my fault. You know, they earn the hate. And you know what? When somebody sees this video, they're not going to know the difference between her or you, right? Because they don't know you yet, right? And they just hate, you know? And I'm trying to promote nonviolence, right? And you know, I mean, I encourage my fans, you know, don't wish violence on anybody, right? Not on a police officer, not on anybody, right? And it just gets harder and harder and harder when I have idiots like Herrera that just doesn't have a freaking clue. No clue at all, and completely came out of nowhere and escalated this situation. Who's this guy with the camera? He can have a freaking camera?
He's not yelling or anything.
Yeah, I can yell all I want. I want your supervisor. See that? You didn't even have enough. I was right. He was freaking innocent. You blocked off all this area, deprived me of my rights, threatened me with interference and with disorderly conduct just for speech. I'm freaking furious at her, right? She needs to be fired. She needs to be fired. She is an absolute disgrace. Sorry, Orta. Are you her supervisor?
No.
That's an interesting hat you got. You look like a Marine, man.
Thank you. It's just traffic. Let me tell you why I was asking you. to just move back, okay?
I've heard all your stories, all your excuses, all your cop-splain, okay? The thing is that what... Go ahead. Tell me again.
I was going to do a field sobriety test with this guy. I was anticipating doing that, okay? So if you're moving around from side to side or you're too close to me, the defense attorneys may raise the argument that, well, what about that guy? He was probably, distracting my client and all that. All that comes up in court, okay?
Then get some yellow tape and block off whatever area you need, and I will navigate the yellow tape at my convenience.
Like I said,
you don't get to order me around when I haven't committed a crime.
If you are too close,
okay?
to me, I can ask you to
too close is not an exact amount. Get your yellow tape out. You have how many freaking cars? Block off an area. Do what you need to do, but do not give me orders. That's not okay.
I didn't want you to distract my guy when I was doing field sobriety test.
If anybody's distracted by free speech, not my problem. That's the power of the First Amendment. If you don't want a First Amendment protest, well, listen, if you don't want a First Amendment protest, don't fight the First Amendment. You are. Every one of you has fought the First Amendment tonight, and that's why this is a disaster for you guys. That's why this is a freaking disaster. Oh, thank God.
Realize by breaking the person curse. Yeah. Right.